All right. Says we live. It has been a while since I did one of these. And there's reasons for that. Reasons I'll go over uh, now before I I guess do the read or whatever. Shout out to whoever watch right now. Please be patient with me. I'm still trying, still trying to figure out how I can do all this. Um, Updating like timestamps and things of that nature. How can I do that? I might have to note it down in my notes um before I even, you know, do everything else, I guess, right? But yeah, um new growth is needed. So if you would like to support, check the pin comment. And of course, book your personal reads. But I'm here to do the new moon in Gemini tarot reading, okay, for all of the signs, as the title says. We're going to go in order per usual. So we'll start with Aries, Taurus, then Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and we end with Pisces. So it's going in order. Once again, once I have the reads done, I will note down in timestamps below. I believe I'm just going to put it down in my notes. But so with that being said, I will update the timestamp for these by the end of today. By the end of today, and the new moon isn't till like 11 something at night tonight. So definitely the timestamps will be updated by then. So you feel free to click for your sign, sun, moon, or rising, or any sign. Or if you want to stick around and watch the entire stream, that is completely fine with me. So I'm only going to do tarot cards today. I'm not going to do oracles today. It's going to run late. I want to spend time with my baby. So, like, with that being said, I don't got, well, I do got the time, but I don't want to be honest with you, spending all the time doing a live stream. You know, as much as I love being able to connect with, you all, being able to do these for you all, just do the readings for you all. It's very, very much not just time consuming, but very much energy consuming as well. I have two bottles of water here, and I got like a tray of fruit on my right. You know what I'm saying? Just in case I need something to eat, because it can be that way. But we got some folk coming in. Like I said, we're gonna start in order. So we're starting with Aries right now. And again, I'm just doing the tarot. We're not going to do the oracle. I will bring the oracles back when I start doing, well, not start because it's not like I stopped, but when I go back to the general reads this weekend. All right. So let's get it. Gemini, new moon in Gemini. Pretty much, what that is symbolic of for those who are interested in knowing, or if you don't know, the Gemini new moon is very much a celebration of some sort of just childlike. How can I say this? Kind of like childlike innocence, but in a sense of like looking at where in your life you have allowed the world, have allowed adulthood, really, to be honest with you, to keep you from, you know, that inner child of yours, where in your life, again, do you need to express that? This new moon is symbolic of getting that started, getting that ball started, getting that to the point where you are able to let that inner child shine and be who you are without shame, without any type of thinking about, well, I got to do X, Y, and Z. Now, it's not to say that you shouldn't think about your responsibilities. Of course, you you know, if you want to, I guess, live right, I guess, or comfortably. Let me just say, you should. But at the end of the day, like, we all have an inner child, and we should all tend to that. And Geminis are real good for that. This new moon energy is, celebration of that, or just, an expression of that. So we're starting with Aries right now. I have your cards. let's get it started. We start with the Wheel of Fortune here. Um, this is great to see upright. I feel as though the last few times I've picked this up for whoever I was doing the reading for, I know I did readings yesterday. Someone had this card. I forget which of the three I read for yesterday had this card, but it was in reverse. And then even prior to that, it was in reverse as well. Um, but this is change. This is unexpected events happening, but you going toward your destiny. Um, which this is great to see that happening here. I see a lot of growth in this read here. There is going to be a bit of setbacks or heartbreak, to be honest with you. um what is this pop-up saying? I don't know, but we'll continue. So there's a lot, and I forgot to note down when Aries started. My bad. I'm gonna just say it starts at like 00. All right, sorry, Aries. But anyways, so I do see some setbacks happening here, but it's more of a situation where you just got to keep going. You got to keep going because whatever the setbacks are, you know, I think it's clear in this reading, and we'll get there. But don't let it stop you. Your next card is the Ace of Pentacles here. So this is new ventures, abundance, manifestation as well. This is a very great card to see in this position. Definitely when it comes right after the Wheel of Fortune again. So a lot of greatness is happening. You just really want to open yourself up to um being patient with yourself. I'm going to say a lot as well. And allowing your be kind to yourself is like, if I were to like title, if this was a general read, and I had to title this reading here, it'd probably be something to the effect of you being kind and patient to yourself, especially that inner child, as I was saying before, in relation to the new moon that we are going to experience tonight. All right, the Gemini new moon. Being very much kind and patient with that inner child. Because I do see that you will run into people, or there are just energies around you who don't want you to be in that. They don't want you to be in that mode where you are someone who nourishes and cherish that inner child, your inner child, because they don't do that for their inner child. So therefore, they don't want you to do that. And it's going to cause friction, as I stated. You have the Three of Swords in reverse. This is healing, forgiveness, of course, as well. Um, and again, just going back to that inner child, I think that, for you, Aries, once you start to open up more, um, and accept, I'm gonna beat this term and I'm gonna beat this term into whatever that saying is, right? But accept your inner child again. Just like once you learn to just accept maybe the pain that you have, the trauma maybe that you're holding on to. Once you're willing to accept all of that and move forward, you can uh you're going places. Like you're really going places because you're being true and honest with yourself. And like I said, I just feel as though like there's energies around you, people around you that really don't want that for you. They see this and they're feeling some type of way, you know? And honestly, they can go fuck themselves. Like if I'm really being honest. The second to last card you got is the Empress. This is why I was saying you being very much patient and very much nurturing to yourself, your inner child as well. Guess what? Also, this lovely lady is pregnant. This is the only pregnant card in the tarot deck. You know, it's no surprise. She's sitting down, relaxing, looking beautiful as always. But she's giving life. She's giving birth. To she's giving life essentially, creating life, and this is the mode you need to be in. Now, don't be weirded out and stuff. Don't take this a weird way, but it's like I see the Empress here in this reading, and it's like you're giving birth, male, female, whatever. They take this as symbolic. I'm not saying literally, right? But you are giving birth to, you're like rebirthing yourself, right? And you're going to, I won't say going to, but it just seems as though energetically you're rebirthing yourself, and you're in a state of um, being that individual where that your inner child could look up to and be proud of, essentially. You know, that's where what I feel this rebirth is happening, or what's happening with this rebirth as far as with you, Aries. So that's pretty great. Your last card is the Five of Pentacles. Now this is why I was saying that there are just folks around you that just don't like, they don't like this new you. They don't like the fact that you are tending to a inner child, right? They don't like the fact that you are nurturing this inner child. They don't like the fact that this new you, this rebirth of yourself, is becoming somebody who, like I said, that inner child can look up to and say, I am very much proud of my older self. I'm very much proud of Aries, you know. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that it's easy for, tarot readers, or just me, at least. I won't say all of us. It's easy for us to, well, I'm going to say me again. Even though I said I didn't say I was going to say else, but it's easy for me to give you the advice of, yeah, just don't do away with them folks, not knowing the um dynamics of your relationship with these people. I get that. So when I say, oh, you just go f them, you don't worry about them, I say that with the knowledge of, I don't know the dynamics of you all's relationship, and therefore I can't really say that uh confidently, to the point where it's like I feel as though that you are doing yourself. I mean, to be honest, I still do feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you allow these people once again to just stop all this personal growth. Um, but that's just my opinion, you know. But what I'm trying to tell you is, you do what you want with these individuals, whether you feel like walking away, which is the energy here. But it's not like a walk away in the sense of like it was um your choice, or at least it was more so of an outcasting. So it's like, even if you are, even if you're like, but I really want to stay with you all, I really want to, it doesn't seem as though that these people even want to keep that connection with you, based off of this Five of Pentacles here. So that's what I have for you, Aries. Best of luck with this situation. You know the deal. If you would like a personal read, shoot me that email. Um, but that is the sign of Aries. And again, if anyone is going to tune into this, please bear with me as I look forward to the next signs, and um, write the timestamps out. But we are on to Taurus right now. And let's just say 1410 is your time. So, Taurus, we are here. This is your time to get this new moon in Gemini read. Yeah, Taurus in your chart, sun, the moon, or rising. Again, you can watch for all three of your signs. Watch for any sign that's in any planet, whatever the case is. Appreciate the like. But we here now. We here. So we on the Taurus. We just did Aries. I will update the timestamps again I have it in my notes right now, but I'll update them once this live is over, and they will be up by the end of the day. The new moon starts like 11 something at night. The timestamp to definitely be up by then. So there is that. So bear with me. Interesting. This card, Aries just got this card. It could be the way I'm shuffling, or it could be you might have Aries in your chart, Taurus. But we got we got your cards here, and we start with the Three of Swords in reverse. Now they got this. This wasn't their first card. Aries is when I say there. This wasn't their first card, but it was in the same position as well. So again, forgiveness, healing. Uh, it does seem like, as far as if I'm going to relate it once again to the Gemini new moon, which is about celebrating, nurturing to, and tending to your inner child, your childlike behavior, just your childlike innocence, not allowing the ways of the world to make you feel ashamed of tending to that, you know? Um, and again, just like with Aries, it does seem like you there's a desire to heal that inner child, to heal that trauma, to heal all of that. But it also, unlike with Aries, I do see that there is a bit more struggle with you to be able to do that. Now you get it together at the end, it seems, which is good. And if I need to pull another card, I'll pull another card again. Uh, for anyone tuning in late, I'm only doing the tarot with this live stream. I'm not going to do tarot and oracle, but that's the oracle cards will return once I do the general reads this weekend. But your next card is the Page of Swords in reverse. This is someone who can pretty much be all talk, someone who can be a bully as well, very much cynical. I don't think this is you, Taurus. And I'm not just saying this because y'all my moon babies or whatever, but I think this is an energy near you. Again, when I see that Three of Swords in reverse, this is someone who is trying to heal, you know. Um, it is healing, but I feel as though like you're trying to heal through this mess, honestly, this mess of energy that you have here. Um, I do see yourself like with this Five of Wands in reverse. Um, you want to defend yourself against this bully here, essentially. But I feel like the reason why you're not in this mode is because you feel like, or you're telling yourself, if I do that, I'm going to be wrong. If I react negatively, if I don't defend myself, as this card upright is, if I don't defend myself, then I am, and I mean, if I do defend myself, that's what you're saying. If I do defend myself, I'm in the wrong here because I'm going to react violently. I'm going to react in a way that I don't want to react because I don't want to be upset. Nobody likes getting upset, or at least nobody sane. Let me put it that way. Likes being upset. I don't like being upset. I don't like getting loud. I don't like arguing. I don't like any of that. But there are times where you need to do that. There are times you need to raise your voice. There are times where you need to let somebody know, hey, especially if they are bullying you, especially if they are someone who is disturbing your peace, if it's someone who is impeding on your path of healing, speaking to them gently and nicely and saying things, please stop, please stop. It's clearly not, working with this individual here. you know it's not working with them. What it is doing is it's making you feel, because this is the card of like overwhelm. It's overwhelming you, so you're hurting yourself, not defending yourself against this bully. Hence why I was saying that Page of Swords is not you in this reading here. That is not you. That is someone else who is. This is a very close, strong energy that's in your read right here, Taurus. But um, I don't think it's you, per se. And if it is you, it's definitely a inner voice that is always negatively talking, that like your negative self-talk, right? And even with this seven of wands here, did I say five earlier? I meant to say seven. I feel like I said five. Either or, um with this seven of wands in reverse here, if this page of swords in reverse is your inner voice, so like your inner critic, your negative mindset, your negative talk, it's very like weird that you're not trying to, well, I don't think it's weird, but I'm saying like it's weird to think that that critic has precedent or have some type of, how can I say this, like they take, like I keep wanting to use the word precedent, like they take precedent over you feeling good about yourself for whatever reason. If this page of swords is you, like your inner voice, you feel as though that critic, that inner critic, that hater essentially, because I don't like when people, critic is, yeah, they're critic and all this, but I think there's a clear difference between, at least with me, there's a difference between a critic and a hater. A critic isn't saying things like, yeah, it might not be the most pleasant thing, but it's not out of hate. It's just purely emotion. It's purely just thought, and most of all, it's purely opinion. That's what critics are. Haters, on the other hand, yeah, there's emotion, but that is a hateful emotion. There's not logic in it. It's a hate-filled emotion. It's not an opinion. The only facts that they're spitting though is that they hate you, and it's jealousy. It's all these other low vibe emotions that come with that, right? But I just think that if this is, again, the page of swords in reverse is your inner critic, I think it's weird that you feel as though that inner critic deserves more compassion than the voice in your head that is telling you to heal, the voices in your head, or the voice in your head that's telling you that you deserve love and compassion. It's like you don't want to fight back against the inner critic. Like you want to be sensitive toward a voice that isn't sensitive toward you at all. It's kind of strange, Taurus. I'm not gonna lie. The last card is the three of wands. This is why I say, okay, you kind of like what I said at the beginning, like you kind of get it together. You know what I'm saying? This is growth, someone who is looking ahead to just things going all right, going well for them, you know? Um, and that's great to see. Again, I brought up the only reason I brought up the inner critic or the page of swords possibly being you as well is because, again, this is your read. But I do feel like even if that is not the case, you know, um, what that three of wands symbolizes is you. Well, you eventually take action and you reverse the seven of wands, so you do end up defending yourself. Now that might cause some type of separation between you and the page of swords, whoever that individual is. But at the end of the day, you're looking forward to brighter days. You're looking forward to just a better life. You're looking forward to more positivity. So you can't really go wrong here. Like the name, like the best move you can make here, Taurus, is to defend yourself against anybody, whether it's yourself or somebody else that is negatively just straight up talking shit about you. Now, when I'm saying defend yourself, I'm not saying pop everybody in the mouth for saying shit. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply just saying speak up for yourself. People, when yourself are saying negative things about you, speak up for yourself. Combat that. Defend yourself. Because I feel as though this energy here would only work when you start to defend yourself or when you are defending yourself. So I would really focus on honing in my efforts. If this is applicable to you, of course, I'll really focus on honing in my efforts of shutting up or quieting to the best of my ability the inner critic, or defending myself against outside critics. If, again, this page of swords in reverse is symbolic of either your inner critic or the outside critics. All right. But yeah, that's what I have for you, Taurus, today. Feel like we moving along, moving along, moving along. I say that, and then we're gonna be here 2 3 hours later. It is what it is. I chose what to do with today. So, anyways, we are Gemini. Gemini is now receiving. Let me write it down in my notes. 2557. All right. I'm writing down the timestamps just in case anyone does look. Watch this playback. Um, I will have all the timestamps once again up and uploaded by the end of the night for sure. So be with me, bear with me, uh, be patient. Appreciate all of that. But we are now in Gemini. In Gemini, you're getting a read. First of all, happy birthday. With that being said, you are eligible for the free birthday personal reads. So if you have a birthday coming up, Gemini sons, please shoot me an email. And you're interested in, booking a personal read, shoot me an email. You find that in the description box below. Yeah. So let's get it started here. Okay. I'm gonna have to take a sip for reading these. Okay. Gemini new moon reading for you. Please don't make it a rough birthday season. All right. We start with the top. I keep wanting to say tarot. The tower in reverse. I keep wanting to say tarot whenever I pick up. As of lately, whenever I picked up the tower card, and I almost said the tarot card again. All right. But this is a resistance of change here. Yeah. The thing about birthdays is obviously they happen once a year. We get that. But I really want you to hone in on that word, birthday. Don't just hone in on the activities. Of course, eat the cake, do all the lovely stuff you do on your birthday, right? But honing on that word, birthday, right? Hone in on it, because what your sign is very much, or at least a new moon in your sign, Gemini, is symbolic of, and what you are about is really just being comfortable in your childlike your childlike ways, right? Tending to that inner child of yours, that playfulness, right? um and I really want you to like focus on that, not just during Gemini season, but throughout the year, because that's what you do great. But again, when you think about the word, or at least when I say birthday, like what does that come to you? What comes to mind for you? Just think about that. All right. Your next card is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is uh, someone who isn't living up to their fullest potential. Simple as that. You know, um, this lack of change that the Tower card in reverse is symbolic of. It's not really a surprise where you probably are in this mode where you think that doing the same thing over and over and over again is going to yield some type of change, which is, which is weird. Ugh, now I'm getting tired now. This is what happens when you live stream after you go to the gym and after you just ate like a fruit platter. But we're going to continue. All right. Um, yeah, like you can't, like, this birthday season, Gemini, I really want you to focus on what matters to you, what matters to Gemini, not what matters to everybody else, but what matters to Gemini. Now the reason why I say that is because you have the three of pentacles in reverse. This is group conflict here, and it could be a situation to where you not changing. I honestly think that the people that you're in a like you're grouped up with. Sorry for yawning, but the people that you're around, essentially, I think they want you to change. Like they want you to be your highest self. This isn't a situation to where the conflict is happening because these people are some haters. It's not happening because of whatever reason. I really do think that the people want you to be your highest self, but you don't want to change for whatever reason. There's some fear that you have as to why, like, you don't want to change. And I just can't put my finger on it. Of course, I would know if you were to book a personal read. And again, you are eligible for the free reads. Oh, man. How am I going to get through these? I'm crazy. But nah, like, for real. Like, I think that's what's happening here is the conflict is happening because you're not really living up to your fullest potential. You're not really being yourself, and there's a fear behind it, and I don't know why. We'll see. But your last card is the Queen of Wands in reverse. I mean, this gives a bit clarity to maybe why you don't want to change things. This is the card of insecurity and jealousy and stuff. But honestly, Gemini, like, and happy birthday, but you might, this is some truth for you. Like, if you're in a group setting and you're jealous and you're hating on people in the group setting, yeah, you do need to change that. Like, you came together with these people, and well, like, why hate on them? If you all are trying to do something for, like, let's see, if I eat a damn grape, I'm gonna stop yawning. But y'all came together, and it's like you see other people doing things within the group or someone else that maybe you wish you can do, someone being a certain way you wish you can be, or you just want to be, or whatever, or you're just very much jealous, envious of the group in general. But you got to look at it from this angle. You also bring something to this group dynamic as well, right? I don't think these individuals, I could be wrong, but I don't think these individuals would have invited you or welcomed you in their group or wanted to even group with you had you not brought something special to the group. And I believe the sooner you realize how special you are and your strengths and everything, then you will stop being in this Queen of Wands energy. The Queen of Wands in reverse energy. You won't be so insecure and jealous of other people who are expressing their strengths comfortably. So hopefully that helps out. That is your read, Gemini. Once again, happy birthday. If you would like a read, you are eligible for the free personal reads. So we are doing Cancer now. And what is the time? 34:46. That's what we're going to say Cancer's time starts. All right. What up, Cancer? It's your turn now to get the Gemini new moon reading. So you got Cancer in your chart, sun, moon, or rising. This is for you. All right. Decent little shuffle. All right. Cancer, what's going on? I know y'all got to read yesterday. I believe I gave y'all a read yesterday. As I said in that general read, I will be doing this live stream. So here we go again. We meet again. You know, yeah. Let's see what's there to come. Interesting. A lot of wands energy here, and that's that. So we start off with the 10 of wands in reverse. This is burnout. You know, um, and I don't know if this burnout is because you have maybe a distrust. Oh, actually, there was a card behind the card, so you have 5 cards instead of 4. Nice. How that appeared. That totally, well, it doesn't totally change what I was about to say, because I do still think that you have a mistrust of people, and this mistrust is happening due to somebody who kind of fucked you over, you know, and you're finding it hard to trust people. I'm gonna say not just people, but like partners, like romantic partners. But there is somebody here that is coming into your life, or you know that there's a potential of someone coming into your life, or there is somebody that's in your life right now who is the genuine soul that you know you deserve. And what you really need to do is just to let go of the past, of that past hurt that this individual who you know effed you over did. Now we have the Four of Wands that follows the Ten of Wands in reverse, right? And oh yeah, like I said, this is burnout. But this is like more so with you. What I'm seeing with this is a mental burnout. It's not like physical, like you're working yourself, overworking yourself physically with that Ten of Wands in reverse. But mentally, you're exhausting yourself. But what this Four of Wands is I think there is somebody that is, you know, prone to come into your life and make things easier. Now, this is the card of unionship, belong, and celebration. Um, Unionship, as in marriage. Don't know if you're married now. Don't know if you want to get married. Just saying what the card is saying, that there's a potential of like you and this partner, and I'm only going to speak on the terms of, well, I'm not, I'm only using the example of the terms of like a heterosexual relationship. You go apply to your life however, but I feel as though there's a wife coming in, you know, a wife, you know, someone who is wifey material, as y'all say, right? Coming into a Cancer's life, and making things better, you know, healing or helping that Cancer see that there are great people in the world. There are people who are worth loving. There are people who are worth trusting. You know, the next card is the King of Cups in reverse. Now, this is one of the reasons why I said, or the main reason, if I'm being honest, as to why I said that there might be a mistrust that you have of people, because of someone doing you dirty in the past. This King of Cups. I don't think this is you. This is someone that their energy is still lingering in your life because of how dirty they did you, you know? But you got to get through it. You got to get past that. Again, you don't want to ruin this thing here. You don't want to ruin this energy here by constantly thinking about what this King of Cups in reverse did. That's not making excuses for this square jaw ass motherfucker, but like it's not going to do you better either by simply just focusing on what he may have done that has you in a state of, again, not trusting individuals, right? And when I said wife, it maybe is a wife situation. I meant to say husband, because like I said, I was going to use example of a heterosexual relationship. So if this is a male who has done a woman wrong, then this is a man who is coming into a woman's life and it's going to bring that peace and harmony that she desires, right? That unionship that she desires. But I ended up saying wife. So maybe the universe is like, actually, it's a lesbian. Whatever the case is, you go apply it to your life. After the King of Cups in reverse, you have the Strength card. This is the card that almost slipped me because it was sticking to like the Two of Swords, like legit. Like I could not see the Strength card at all until like the I was moving this to straighten it out because it was kind of like crooked. It was kind of like this or something. And when I moved it, I noticed the Strength card right behind it. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to that Two of Swords in reverse, of course, but having the courage to move forward, to move on, which is great to see. You know, I love to see that for you, Cancer, because it, man, like I told y'all in y'all readings, man, it just seems very rough for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all at least with my reads, I don't be watching what the other readers say about you or to you. You know what I'm saying? That's your job. But um yeah, that's it's been on the rough end with me, but I do love to see that you are I think you're not going to fall back on the easy method of just saying f love or f everybody else, or I'll never find a partner, or I would never move on from this situation here, even though you tell yourself you want to. It seems as though with that Strength card you are actually uh making an effort to move forward from that past hurt. And like I said, the last card is the Two of Swords in reverse. Um, you do want to be mindful that of this energy here, where you don't want to. Again, the Strength card does show some activity, which is great. But I think a lot of the work you're doing right now is mental work rather than physical work. Again, with this 10 of wands in reverse, although it's a 50-50 toss up and the individual in the picture is physically laboring, depending on what the reading is, like I'm not saying this is you physically laboring to doing things physical, like physically active, doing things, or actively doing things to get over this past hurt. It's a lot of mental work that was causing burnout. And in contrast to that, again, you have the Strength, which you are, doing. It seems as though you're doing work again to move forward, but it's again mental. It's mental work. It's not necessarily, uh, you know, physical work. And I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I got all the answers to say, oh, you need to do this physical work or whatever the case is. It could be a situation because I don't know your situation. It could be a situation where you simply just need to move out of the state, move out of the city, move away Maybe move out of the same apartment or house if you are still living with this King of Cups in reverse who had hurt you in the past. That's physically doing something to help you move on from a situation. But from what I see here, it's a lot of mental work, which again is great that you're doing a lot of maybe the positive affirmations, the I can find love, I will find love, I deserve to be loved type talks. But I think what this is saying, the Two of Swords in reverse is saying is um, there's more that can be done on your end as far as getting past this situation here. This is also the card of taking the best out of of the worst of a bad situation. And what I was just talking to you about within this read, taking the best out of the worst looks like someone who again is positively affirming themselves, which is great. But if there's more that can be done, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like there's more that can be done than you just saying to yourself, I deserve love. Yeah. But there could be, and the reason why, this Two of Swords showed up is because, in reverse showed up, is because there's a small part of you that's lingering on to the past still. I get that vibe that there's a small part of you. The reason why you're not physically, again, moving away from this individual is because you are this individual again, is because there's a small part of you. Granted, like I'm saying, it is small, but it's still there. It's still present. There's a small part of you that's still lingering on to that past. And making a physical move is a major move in this situation here. And I think you're just settling per se for the I won't say the easy work, but the work that you don't necessarily mind doing, which again is the mindset shifting of how you feel about your love life, right? Again, going with the whole positive affirmation thing, thinking positively, which again is great. I gotta say it is great. I'm not down in that. I'm not down in this situation here, but I don't think you're putting all of the work that you can do. Now you're probably like, well, what if I get burned out physically? I think this card appeared, as I stated at the beginning, is because there is a mental burnout you're doing or that you were doing as far as mentally when you were on your negative Nancy stuff of I'll never find love. And that was pretty much exhausting you. But then you decided, okay, let me go to the opposite of that negative mindset. And that was great once again. But there's still more you can do, right? This is accomplishing things and tending to obligations. So when I see this card present, yeah, it showed up reverse, and yeah, like I said, it is a. I feel as though you're not that the exhaustion that you were experiencing was more so mental, but it's not physical exhaustion. You can push yourself, you can do more work. In fact, there is more that is needed to be done, and you're not necessarily doing the more. So that's what I have here for you, Cancer. That has been your Gemini and New Moon in Gemini read for the sign of Cancer. So we are on to Leo now. We are almost getting down to the get down. Let me take this in my notes again. Anyone who does pop up in here later, I will have the timestamps updated by the end of the night. So please bear with me. Appreciate you for your patience. But we are on to Leo now. So if you have Leo in your chart, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is for you. Gemini new moon reading. Let's see what you get. I already got 2 poppers. All right. And if you're interested, of course, in a personal read, you're able to book that with me. So this card's showing up for a lot of folks. Shoot me an email if you want that personal read. Anyways, we have the King of Wands in reverse. This ain't the card I was talking about. We'll get there when we get there, but um this is someone who is a bad leader, essentially. Um, Someone who has just unrealistic expectations of maybe the people that they lead, the people under them, per se, in quotation marks. Um, and it just seemed like during this new moon, this Gemini new moon, which is very much a celebration and an act of cherishing your inner child, your childlike behavior. Um, I think you're taking that power back, Leo, which is great. Because you have my favorite card, the best card in an entire tarot deck, whether reverse or upright. You have the Hierophant. You know, um, this is someone who follows their guns, stick to their guns, no matter what. No one is swaying them. It's their mind. It's made up however they want it to be. Make it up, right? So with that being said, um, whoever this King of Wands was symbolic of, if it wasn't someone else, it could be again your inner critic telling you that it was wrong for you to just follow your path, essentially, right? Um, but you're like, nope, enough is enough with that Hierophant, which is great to see. Your last card is the Three of Swords in reverse. This is healing, self forgiveness, or just forgiveness in general, right? If we're going based off of that King of Wands in reverse being you, this can be very much symbolic of self forgiveness. Like you forgive yourself for even uh, leading yourself in a bad way, being a bad leader to yourself, and or allowing yourself to be led off your natural path. So this is a quick and easy one. I'm not going to pull any other extra cards. It's at least 3 cards or more. That's what I have for Leo. All right. Again, timestamps will be updated soon. But next we have my brothers and sisters in the Mercury, uh, Virgo. So if you have Virgo in your chart, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this Gemini new moon read here is for us. So I know we've been going through we've been going through it, man. We've had some reads here, you know what I'm saying? And I actually do pay attention to Virgo reads from other signs. In fact, it's the only sign from other tarot reads that I would pay attention to. Okay. Ooh, boy. We start with the Ace of Cups. You know what I'm saying? So there is love present in this reading, although there is love blunders in this reading as well. But I feel as though it's more so that the universe is saying, hey, listen, that relationship ain't going to work out. But you know what is going to work out? What you do need to tend your, express your love to, that thing that you have a deep passion for. It could be tarot. You could be a tarot reader. It could be writing. It could be being a makeup artist. It could be composing music. It could be whatever that thing is, right? If you're an athlete, sport, whatever sport that you play, okay? I'm going to take Hey, you know I love us, right? Gotta keep it real. But so I think so that's good. That's the love that's showing up here. All right. But as we always tend to do, right? We get frustrated when we when we don't know what is next. The moon in reverse. Okay. Typical Virgo fashion. We got to control everything. We got to know what is next. We got to know what is what. We got to know A, B, C. We got to know every word in a dictionary. We got to know all the alphabet. We got to know every number there is. We got to know what comes next. And if we don't, well, there comes frustration. And I feel as though this frustration, it's actually in the center of the Ace of Cups and your last card, because this frustration stems from an unknown, like not knowing what is next within your personal career or probably in your love life as well. So that's where the frustration is coming from. But Virgos, my brothers and sisters, has that frustration ever served us well? It's a question I'm gonna ask you. You can answer that yourself. All right. The last card we got is the Lover's card in reverse. I'll show y'all some legs and feet, but I can't show y'all the rest. All right. Um, like I was saying, this is like a relationship mess up. This is, uh, just a, a blunder. Yeah. how, how else can I say? This is not something one would want to see in their personal relationship life, which is unfortunate, you know. Um, but again, with that moon in reverse, I feel like this isn't just a frustration with what the Ace of Cups symbolizes for us being individually a Virgo. But if you're in a relationship, or well, I'm going to say if you're in a relationship, more so, it's probably like that frustration of what's happening with the relationship, what's going to happen next, not knowing what's next, because you may have confronted a partner or your partner, and they ain't like it. You know what I'm saying? No one likes our truths, you know? And you did it out of love and care, like every Virgo does when we share the truth with people, but your partner unfortunately didn't take it that way. And now they're, you know, leading you, they have you in this state of confusion of, well, are they going to leave me or not? I think it's obvious that you care. You don't want the relationship to end. Good thing is, again, the cards that show up reverse can be reversed back to a, you know, upright position. So the Lover's card is here, meaning that there is potential that the relationship still lasts and you all are still, um, you still get to be with this individual. You can't force them to stay, but there's a potential that they still stay. All you can control really what I want you to control is how you're looking at the uncertainty in your life. And again, I know it's easier said than done. I'm speaking from experience when I say that. But the uncertainty when it comes to your career goals, the uncertainty when it comes to your personal relationships, your love life in general, right? And I will say personal, like, relationships, because I think, like, this is deeper than just, um, now I believe it's deeper than just a romantic partner, although it's the Lover's card. So yeah, this could be a situation to where it is, exclusively a romantic situation that is on the rocks right now. Like I said, Virgos, we're going through it, but we will get through it. All right. If anyone can, it is us. So that was for the sign of Virgo. And once again, I will update these timestamps by the end of the day. bear with me. We are on to Libra now. So let me write this in the notes. 59:29. That's the time I'm going to put for Libras. All right. What up, Libra? This is your Gemini new moon, new moon in Gemini read. If I sound tired, it's because I am already crashing. But, we're going to get through it. So you got Gemini on your chart, sun, moon, or rising. This is for, not Gemini, Libra, because I already did Gemini. So if you have Libra in your chart, sun, moon, or rising, and if you watch the playback, you can go check out Gemini as well. Yeah. So let's see if we get at least 2 more cards. If you're interested in a personal read, you are able to book that with me by sending me an email. You can find my email in the description box below. Oh man, another relationship card that's not so good. Oh man. All right, Libra. So we start with the 4 of Cups. You want to know what would be crazy? What if the read that I did for Virgo and the read that I'm doing for Libra now are connected? Like there's a Virgo out there with a Libra, and yeah, this is what's happening with them. That would be crazy. But anyways, let's continue. That's just me thinking out loud. But yeah, this is you not necessarily. This is This is contemplation, but more so feeling indifferent to something. Like I feel like your partner wanted to present something to you that was actually uh I'm not saying that they're broken promises are fugazi, but I do believe that whatever, this is another relationship read here based on the cards. I do believe that shout out to you, Sunshine. I can't speak today. I just did Gemini. Well, not just, but I did Gemini earlier. Shout out to you. I'll have the timestamps updated after this. It'll be up by tonight. I'm on the sign of Libra right now, but appreciate you for coming in. Um, but yeah, back to Libra. I get the feeling that your partner has been trying to make things up, uh, and trying to show you pretty much, hey Libra, hey, I got this. I'm trying to pretty much make you happy again, and you're like, yeah, man, like you're not necessarily giving them a chance uh to make it up, you know. Um, I don't know what your partner did that got you in this state. Um, and again, like I said, I think it would be crazy if that Virgo read I just did was related to this, because that read was story wise would make an interesting story along with what I'm seeing here. But you're not really giving them a chance to show better. And at the end of the day, Libra, you're gonna do what you want to do. Like I tell all the signs, you're gonna do what you want to do. But like if you want the relationship to work out, at least acknowledge the effort that your partner is making. In the 4 of Cups, you're not really acknowledging it. You're just like whatever, whatever, whatever. You know? Um, yeah. You also can't be upset with them if at some point in time they stop making an effort to make things make things whole with between you all, because all the effort they were making, you weren't necessarily acknowledging it. Maybe because you have up in your mind this perfect scenario, and because they didn't do that thing, that perfect scenario that would make you happy again, because they didn't do that, then everything else is just meh. Or it maybe it's a situation where you're just toying with them, or maybe it's a situation where you really just don't know if you want to be with them or not. Either or, what I'm going to say to you here is effort is being made. It's just you're not acknowledging it. So you can't necessarily say, hey, you're not even trying to help save this relationship. They are. From what I'm seeing, they are. It's just you're not acknowledging what they're putting out. Reason why I say all of that is because you have the 10 of cups in reverse. This is essentially a broken home, separation, you know. Um, as I stated moments ago, if this partner of yours decides I don't want to, I'm done making an effort. Like I tried to make you happy, Libra, and you're just mad and everything. You're just like, nah, I'm not impressed. You can't be upset with them if they separate. If they're like, I'm done, enough is enough. Now, like I was saying with did I say with this with Virgo or the sign before? Either or. I've said this before in other reads, in general reads especially. Um, Simply because a card has showed up in whatever position, upright or reverse, doesn't mean that you can't make, like, it showed up reverse here, but it doesn't mean you can't have this. You can't have the peace and harmony and the stable home and all of that stuff. It doesn't mean that you're not there. This is totally out of the water, like totally out of the equation. It just really depends on the decisions that you make. Now, if you go from this state to this state and you're clear on what you want, because this is just clear, this is clarity. This is you understanding and just being, you just knowing exactly what you want. If you go from there to there and reverse, this four of cups to a four of cups in reverse, um, and make it clear to your partner, it could be a potential where they actually do the thing that you want them to do. Again, if you have this made up, well, this made up in your mind perfect act that they have to do to get back in your good graces again, um tell them. Communicate that to them, because they're not a mind reader. You know what I'm saying? Communicate that to them, and it could be something to where they do it, and then y'all it's exactly what happens. You communicated, I want you to do this, they did it, you all are good again, right? Your last card is the, if I could hold it up, the Nine of Wands in reverse. Somebody who is very much stubborn, someone who is also motivated by fear. And I believe that both of these meanings are applicable to you, Libra. Again, got to keep it real. I think that the stubbornness, definitely, of this card of I'm not budging, I'm not buying anything that you're trying to sell me. When we're talking about a relationship here, we're talking about your partner. I don't think your partner's trying to sell you anything. They're simply just trying to make things right. And you're acting like, yeah, nah, I'm not buying that. I'm not, like, you're not giving them a chance again to make things right at all. And yet you're in this state of because it seems as though, like, you're in a state of fearing being hurt, but you're not doing things. Maybe it's a fear of being hurt, like you're in this state of fear and being hurt because you're like, if I give this individual a chance, um they're just gonna hurt me again. I can't tell you that's going to be the case. I can't say that it won't be the case. What I am gonna say here, based off of what I'm seeing with the cards, is I feel like you can both And I'm saying you when I say you can both make it clear to the individual. You can do both things. Make it clear to the individual what your needs are, what your wants and needs are. Instead of totally writing them off and saying that they're not going to do that thing or they're not going to abide by those wants and needs, give them a chance to show you that they are capable of doing so. You can do that and still be in this state of um, being able to defend yourself, being able to move forward when you need to. Like pretty much have your defenses up while still allowing that person in, right? Don't just allow all your defenses down, but let them in. If they're making an effort again, let them in. I don't see why you want to continue in this state of fear when you don't want to be in a state of fear of being hurt. But this apathy mode that you're in here, it's not going to. It's like the folks who pretend to be heartless to keep from getting hurt, and it's like you see those people, you see what's happening. They always end up hurting themselves more in more ways than the obvious hurt of heartache. They end up hurting themselves a lot more than um, what they're putting on. You know, they end up actually being hurt more than what they're putting on. Instead of being real, they thought if I was to be real, it's gonna hurt myself. When in actuality, all that pain that they're allowing to fester because they're pretending not to care, pretending, not to, yeah, not to care and have emotions. It's hurting them. It's hurting their situations at the end of the day. So that's what I have for you, Libra. Best of luck in that situation. Once again, if you would like a personal read, you're able to book that with me. Geminis, since it's y'all birthday season, y'all get the free personal read. So of course, if you are a Gemini sun, shoot me an email. You get that free birthday read. How they work is pretty much you don't have to get a read on your birthday. You just have to have a birthday coming up within the zodiac season, of course. So, of course, we in Gemini season. So, uh, got a birthday coming up tomorrow, next week, whatever. As long as it's in the season, you'll get that free read. So, we just did Libra. I'm writing down these notes. We are on to Scorpio coming down to the wire. And June 8th. Okay. Okay. All right. So if you want that read, Sunshine, shoot me an email and you'll get that personal read. All right. Appreciate you. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy your birthday when it's happening. Hopefully the weather is nice and stuff because that's approaching summertime, but it should be. But we on the Scorpio now. Scorpio, whenever you watch this play back, whatever. I feel like I just shuffled. Probably not. Um, Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. Um, this is for you. All right. Coming down to the wire now. So, Scorpio, if you're interested in a personal read, you're able to book that as well. You can shoot me an email. Geminis are getting the free reads, but that doesn't mean no one else isn't getting a read. It just won't be free for this season. But yeah. Another relationship. Golly. What is what is going on? Is it all these blunders here, man? All right. Jeez. All right, Scorpio. Let me make sure all the parts are covered up, or at least, yeah, because I almost showed something I wasn't supposed to. We got the lovers card in reverse, man. Like, I'm looking at your other two cards. This ain't funny, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I feel like your relationship ended because you might be. How can I say that? How can I say this nicely? You might be a coin hoarder, a money hoarder, right? Your partner thinks you cheap, or your old partner thinks your ex think you too damn cheap. To be honest with you, when in actuality, I don't think that uh, eh, the jury's still out on that. Let me not say that. But it does seem as though money is the reason as to why you and your relationship are having issues right now. Or your relationship is having issues right now. Honestly. Um, the reason why I say that is you have your last two cards are pinnacle cards. All right. We have the nine of pentacles in reverse here. This is someone who overspends, someone who can be pretty much financially irresponsible because they um, might be like very much superficial, materialistic. Um, but then this really contrasts with the four of pentacles here. You know, I feel as though this nine of pentacles may be your partner, and they want to be this way, but you want to be this way. It could be a reverse. You're this and they're this. Either or, when you have someone who likes to overspend, especially on material stuff, and someone who is a big saver, someone very frugal, very conservative, very much hoarder like with their coins, that can definitely cause some friction. I'm speaking from experience, and that is ain't even my sign. Like I'm speaking from experience as the money hoarder. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was able to recognize it real quick. Like, oh shit, this is me in my last relationship. She overspent. I was like, nah, this ain't we can't be doing that. So it's like that's why I was like, yeah, laughing because I was more so like laughing at myself than it is for you. I was laughing at you, I ain't gonna lie, but like it's more so because I've been there, Scorpio. I've been there. Now, me personally, I decided that it just wasn't worth salvaging the relationship. But as far as with you, if you want to salvage this relationship, just a healthy compromise. That's the best advice I can give here. Without pulling the oracles again, I'll go back to pulling the oracles when we do the general reads this weekend, right? I didn't want to make the live stream longer than it need to be by pulling the oracle cards. But um yeah, it's maybe a healthy compromise, maybe a conversation can be had. And again, as I say all the time, simply because the cards show up in a specific way, like the lovers card showed up in reverse. So yeah, there's okay, I can show legs and feet on YouTube. I just can't show everything else. But there's hope that you all stick together. And now I'm not saying allow the overspending to happen. I'm not saying become the financial irresponsible individual just like your partner. But I'm saying there could be a space where you two can both still be together. They can still have their I guess their fun with their money, live the luxurious life. But this is also financial freedom. So I feel as though I'm not saying Scorpio, you're the only one that has to make compromises. I feel as though they have to make moves within money moves that's going to afford the lifestyle that they want. They might have to pick up another job. They might have to, maybe invest in some things. They might have to find a job, period, that is, leave the job that they're at now if they're working to find a job that actually pays more than what they're getting now so they can afford. So it's not when I say there's a compromise that possibly has to be made. I'm not trying to say like this is all on you. This is it's a thing where you and this partner has to do something in order for things to work, or should do something. I'm gonna just say that, right? I still don't feel comfortable saying that. It's a situation where you and the individual have to, there's work that needs to be done. Um, don't be so dang strict. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I hear you, Scorpio. I ain't going front. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I like, out of all the reads I've done for you, this is probably the first one where I'm like, you know what, Scorpio's right. But no, it's not the first one. But I hear you 100%. But depending on how you personally feel about your partner in this relationship, is it do you is a healthy medium an option? That's something you can answer. Only you can answer. I can't go through cards and tell you. You can book a personal read, but even still, even after that, that's still a question that you have to answer to yourself. Is a healthy medium possible? I'm saying I gave you a suggestion on how it could be possible if your partner ended up finding more money, getting more money, and therefore they're able to afford still the luxuries and stuff that they desire, and you be less of a, I guess, for lack of a better word, a dictator when it comes to what they do with their money or the money with you all's relationship. But I don't want the work to be all on you. I don't want it to be where you have to loosen up, your way with money, but then you also got to get another job so your partner can live a lavish life. No, I feel as though if they want to live the lavish life, you're going to have to put in work to afford that. It's really that simple. And I think that, that's fair. I think that's fair. It's like, if you want more, do more. Find a way, some, again, another job, invest in something that you feel is going to bring in more money. Find a higher paying job to replace the job that you have now, if that's the case. Something that's going to side hustle, whatever. Something that's going to bring in more money so you can live the life that you want. I am not in fear of, losing finances, or us not being able to pay bills, pay rent, whatever the case is. And this relationship lasts because you're happy getting what you want. I'm happy not stressing out about finances. We can, we're happy together. So that might be, I guess, the advice that you can use and get for with this situation here. All right, Scorpio, best of luck to you, though. That has been your read. If you would like to book a personal, once again, shoot me an email. You can find that in the description box below. Let me get to the Nets sign here, Sagittarius. Let me write this timestamp down for you. And once again, I will have timestamps updated by the end of tonight. All right. I gotta redo that dang timestamp. All right. Sagittarius, what's happening? This is your new moon and Gemini read. So if you got Sagittarius in your chart, sun and moon or rising, this is for you. Let me give you a better shuffle. All right. Now that's what I'm talking about. I'm waking up again, I bet. I am waking up again. All right. Those last few reads, man. Whew. So your cards came fairly easy. Don't know how you're going to feel about them, but they came fairly easy. All right. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Jealousy, insecurity. Someone had this card earlier. Already forgot, but that's what this is. It could be because I don't think this is like jealousy and insecurity of someone um who, this isn't like relationship basis, what I'm trying to say, thankfully. What I did, 2, 3 relationship reads in a row, and I'm like, golly. But I think this is more so you comparing yourself, Sagittarius, to somebody else. And what the universe wants you to do is to focus on your own path, create your own way. You know, you're not necessarily doing that. You're comparing yourself to, again, somebody else. And that's never good. All right. Next, you have the Six of Swords in reverse. This is emotional baggage, living in past, pretty much. So I get, I get the visual of you looking at somebody, maybe of your past, someone that you did connect with or have a close connection with. Now it's just maybe just a social media connection. And I'm gonna eat a grape real quick. Hmm. But this is someone you have you're on social media, like you're still connected on social media, not have a social media connection, but a close connection, and you're stalking them on social media. And um you're again comparing yourself to them, and you're not like you're not happy because you're seeing them move forward, or you're seeing them essentially move on without you. But like, what good is that going to do for you, Sagittarius? Honestly, like, what good is that going to do for you? Whether you felt like they done you wrong or vice versa, just move on. You know what I'm saying? It could be a situation where you're like, no, they deserve to be suffering right now. Well, they're not. They're not. Things happen where people have done us wrong, or we feel as though we've been done wrong. And guess what? That individual is not suffering. As much as you may want them to suffer, it is not your control. Unless, I mean, it is, you can do something about it, but you also will increase the it's not wise of you to try to do something about it, because whether it's the law coming to get you, or the or God, or the higher law, if you want to call it, coming to get you, I feel as though it's the best. It's best for you to move on. That's should be your get back, is to move on, and not move on some. I'm going to show this person that I don't need them. I'm going to show them that I'm actually better. No, move on, because that's what a mature adult would do in your situation here, despite them being done wrong. Your last card is the Ace of Wands in reverse. Um, it's self sabotage. This is exactly what I was saying when I said, like, if you don't just move on and focus on yourself, you're hurting yourself. You know, figure out a way. Maybe this is now. I'm saying all this, and I'm thinking maybe that individual that you had a close connection with was maybe like a business partner. I'm getting real big like business partner. Um, like I'm getting the download that this was someone that you were connected with, who may have been like a friend, maybe someone of that nature as well, but this was more so of a business partner. And you two had a falling out. Or it was a situation where again y'all are business partners, but they decided to go solo, or to just go in a direction that didn't bring you along for the ride, for that direction. They left you behind, and you all are still connected, because I still get the vibe that you're still able to see how they're doing, and what they're doing. And I get that. And how I envision that is you being able to see them on social media. So, Facebook, whatever, wherever that may be. It could be because you still see that person in person. And, whenever you go frequent spots and whatever, they are, they're doing their thing. And you're like, this person should not, again, you're still of this mind that they should be suffering right now because of them leaving you, or them, what doing whatever. I'm not excusing if it's a situation to where y'all came together and they totally just swept the rug right up under you, maybe stole some ideas. I'm not making excuses for any of their actions, good, bad, fucked up, or non fucked up actions. All I'm saying is what the universe is saying. You really just need to move on. It's a new month. No, it's not your season, but it's a new month. Move on. And don't allow, the if you want to tap into the Gemini aspects of it, don't allow what happened with this individual to turn you into a jaded individual. Have that child like sense of innocence, hope that you can find something better. You can create something better. Again, you have that Ace of Wands here. It's in reverse, but it's still present, meaning that you still are very much capable of creating opportunities for yourself. Children believe they can do anything. You know what I'm saying? So having that childlike belief that you can do anything despite hardships is what I would say is pretty much needed for you right now, Sagittarius, with this reading here. That's what I have for you. I'm going to take a sip of water before we get into the next read. Best of luck to you, though, with that situation. Let's go. Last three signs. Ooh, ah. We got Capricorn right now. The fabulous Caps right now. What's your time? 1 hour, 31 minutes, and I'm going to say 2 seconds. All right. So right now I'm reading for the sign of Capricorn. If you have Capricorn in your chart, sun, moon, or rising, this is for you. Capricorn, typically y'all reads bring in a lot of hope, positivity, sunshine, not a lot of weighty negativity, strong or heavy, I should just say, uh emotions. But we here now. We here with your cat. And yeah, so if you would like a personal read, you're able to book that with me by sending me an email. You can find my email in the description box below. There are scammers in this community, of course, so anyone reaching out to you claiming to be me, it is not me. So, Cap, you're not really getting any jumpers, so I'm just going to pull from the top. 3 cards for you. Okay. We start with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This is someone who is boring. This is someone who settles for less. This is someone who actually fears their potential as well. Capricorn, you're fabulous. Did I tell you that? Let me tell you again. You are fabulous. Right? I gave you that nickname because I know a Capricorn who her name, her nickname is Fab. Let me just say that. I won't say her full name, even though I'm pretty sure you can probably guess, what her full name is. But her nickname is Fab, right? First Capricorn that I was really just tight with, someone I went to high school with. That's why I call y'all fabulous. But I truly believe y'all some fabulous folks. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I don't want you thinking that you don't have the potential to that you're a failure in life, essentially. You know, the universe don't want you to think that as well. We have the Empress here showing up. I'm glad. I really love seeing this card in this position. First of all, gorgeous ass card. That's number one. Two, this is someone who is, nurturing, very much a creative, and I feel like there's something that you are pouring, uh, you know, you're pouring into, which is great to see as well. You know, I won't say that you quickly get over the insecurities of the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, like you're fearing your potential, fearing of your potential. Not saying it's going to be a quick turnaround, but based off the energies here, we got the Empress here, and then your last card being the Ace of Cups here. It seems as though you do make a very much great bounce back from I don't know if I can do this to I'm going to do this to like I'm creating this, I'm doing this thing. Um, and it's kind of like you're again, it's not you're not rushing into it. The Empress is very much, nurturing. And when you think of someone of a nurturing nature, it's very much patient. When you think of patience, you think of steady pace or even a slow pace. So it's maybe a situation where you build your confidence up, but you don't shy into the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Now it's here present because that's the stronger energy, and it's here. That's not to say that you don't revert to a negative state of being, or that there isn't a possibility of that. But there's also the possibility that this happens, you know, and you stay the course, you stay disciplined, and creating the thing that you want to create, moving toward your passion and sticking to that. So quick and easy for Capricorn. I love that. I love this. Told y'all fabulous. Like y'all just make life easy. Yeah, appreciate y'all. But we're doing Aquarius right now. All right, that was your read, Capricorn. We're on to Aquarius 136. Well, 37 now. Let me just say 37 at the hour and 37 mark is where Aquarius starts. Anyways, if you have Aquarius in your chart, sun, moon, or rising, this is for you. Under 2 hours. I'm surprised. Well, let me not say that. Let me not speak out of term now. Uh, let's get it. If you would like a personal read, Aquarius, this is for you. I mean, yeah, this is for you right now at the time I'm doing your read. But if you would like a personal read, what I meant to say was you're able to book that with me by sending me an email. You'll find my email in the description box below. Just know that there are scammers in this community, unfortunately. So does anyone coming at you claiming to be me, offering you reads, offering you anything else? It is not me. Interesting. Okay. So, who was it? It was Sagittarius that had the two cards, that same position and everything, like that you just got your last two cards. But we're gonna start with the Three of Cups in reverse. Um, this is someone who, in a way, separates themselves from a group. It's not like the Hermit card type of solitude, where it's more so positive. Or the Hermit card when it's upright, solitude, where it's more so a positive pulling back of one's I guess physical presence amongst the crowd so they can go deep within. This is more so of a solitude of I'm separating from people because mainly because you, how can I say this? I'm just gonna flat out say we got to get these reads done. It's mainly because you don't want to hear combative voices. And from what I'm seeing here is, I think it's more so you don't want to hear a difference of opinions from people. Like you don't want to be told what you don't want to hear, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So you're separating yourself from people who genuinely are telling you like maybe things you don't want to hear for your highest good, and yet you are in this state of, no, I don't want to hear it, it's not what I want to hear exactly, so therefore I'm turning away. Could be a situation where you end up watching this playback and you're like, I don't want to hear it, yeah, he's not telling me what I want to hear, I'm turning away. You do what you want to do. At the end of the day, Aquarius, you know I love y'all, you know what I'm saying, but I keep it real with you like I keep it real with everybody else. All right. Your next card is the Six of Swords in reverse. This is one of the cards Sagittarius got in reverse, same position. Emotional baggage, living in the past. I think more so with you though, it's the emotional baggage aspect as to why you are so anti opinions or anti any. Yeah, I'm gonna just say anti opinions that maybe differ from yours. Anti advice, anti opinions. Maybe it's something like some insecurity in the past where you felt like when people did that, they were belittling you, like you felt stupid. I've been there, but I can tell you right now, when I look back at those situations, it wasn't people belittling me. Now I've been belittled before, past, present, like that. I'm not saying that I haven't been belittled before, but when I'm looking at situations to where when I was in this mode of I don't want friends or I don't want to connect with people because they tell me things that I don't want to hear about myself or they disagree with me, they weren't belittling me. They weren't just being combative either. Oftentimes they were trying to steer me in the right direction. And then there are just times where they just simply just wanted to state their opinion that was different. They wanted to state their thoughts on something that was different. Yet I reacted in an emotional, a negatively an emotional state of I don't want friends because da 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 da. And Aquarius, you too damn old. Let's be real. You too damn old, or you should be too damn old. I hope I'm not reading for no damn kid. But like, you too damn old to be acting this way. Also, oh, because someone said something that you disagree with. Now you don't want to connect with the group, or you don't want to connect with those people. Yeah, you're too damn old and too damn wise. All right. Your last card is the Ace of Wands in reverse. This is the other one. Self sabotage. And that's exactly what is happening here when you keep that immature mind of everyone who disagree with me is just a big fat meanie, is a hater, is someone that I don't need to connect with. I feel as though this is real big, like, and if I had to conjunct this message that you have here is pretty much to that you really don't like when people disagree with you. You really don't like a difference of opinion, difference of thoughts, even. And yeah, we are in Gemini season. And you are probably going to be like, well, if Geminis are very much childlike and you're calling me childish, that means I'm doing something right. No, you're being a toxic, spoiled, bratty child right now. You're being me in these situations where, again, if someone were to say something that I didn't like, it's a problem. Oh, they're a big fat meanie. Well, all that shit, right? So yeah, you being a child during the season of celebrating your inner child, but you're being an immature child, and that's not what Gemini season celebrates. That's actually the shadow side of the Gemini. This could be an Aquarius with strong Gemini's placements, or it could be just an Aquarius taking on traits of a toxic Gemini. And nonetheless, this is not what I mean is not what the universe wants you to do when the aspect of Gemini is in new moon, when the new moon is in Gemini. It's not to be a spoiled brat child whenever people disagree with you. You call them mean and you want to separate from them and you get emotional and stuff. How about you figure out, okay, what they're saying, figure out a way to come together and maybe work on something to where you all can get to a state like listen to what they're saying because it could be helpful to you. And like I said, the Ace of Wands in reverse, man, that's very much like you appreciate whoever left that like. Appreciate you. If you are going to come in and come out, at least leave a like that individual did. All right. So anyways, this is what I have for you, Aquarius. We're almost done though. We are on the last sign of Pisces. Oh man. So if you got Pisces in your chart, sun, moon, first of all, let me note this down. Let me note down Pisces start time so I don't forget. Oh, right. 1:45. There we go. And we now have all the timestamps noted down. I will update the timestamps. I won't say immediately after this live goes down, but it definitely will be up by the end of this day. The new moon actually is around 11 or sometime after 11 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time. Let me make that crystal clear. So with that being said, definitely this will be up before then, but these are the cards that jumped out for Pisces. Interesting. All right, we'll see. I gotta cover this one though. We have the world. Pisces getting the world. We have the world card, and this is wholeness, fulfillment. Very interesting. Ooh, interesting. As interesting, yeah, interesting spread that you have here. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. This is great. This is pretty much getting everything that you want. But I ain't gonna lie, Pisces. I think the universe is gonna treat you like Job. Now, if you know the story of what happened with Job in the Bible, um, uh, Job had everything and had for just the shortest explanation. Job had everything he wanted. He had the wife, the kids, the riches, and God took all of that from him. All of that. Everything he's ever wanted. The happy, again, riches, wife, all of that. He had all of that, and God, he had the world essentially, and God took it away. I don't know if Job was a Pisces. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that damn deep into the Bible knowledge to where I know when everybody was born or not. But the reason why I say that is because you have the tower, right? Coming right after the world. Now, if that doesn't scream Big Job vibes, Big Job. I'm sorry. If that doesn't scream though, like this is some Big Job energy right here, where you had the world and everything just came crumbling down. You know what I'm saying? I every time I get this card, I still want to remind folks that the tower moments aren't necessarily to be feared. As they're ugly. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and be like be the toxic positive tarot reader and be like everything is fine. No, these moments are ugly. They are ugly. But it's like a mess that needed to be made in order for things to be rebuilt back up to a much more beautiful standard. You know, it's tearing down a building that may not look like it was ruined from the outside, but it definitely was going to be something terrible had this building continued to be had this building continue to stand. So you tear it down and you rebuild it back up with better, laster longing, long lasting, laster longing, whatever material, better material. Let me say that, and it's much safer for the tenants of that building. All right, it's ugly because people lose their homes. You know what I'm saying? Taxes go up, all that other stuff. But yeah, that's next. You have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This is misery. You know, which could definitely happen when you lose the world. It can definitely happen when the tower moment happens. So I understand it. I understand it. And the reason why I say this is big Job energy, it wasn't just the world card. It wasn't just the tower card. Job had moments in the Bible. And this is crazy that this is getting real biblical now, but we here. Job had moments where he was in misery mode. He was questioning God. Why would you even do that to me? Why would you give me the wife, the kids, all the money in the world, all the financial freedom, all the safety, and then just strip it away from me? Like, why would you do that? He had his misery moments. But he also had it all ended with, and I just told you the whole story of Job in a couple of few minutes. Y'all can look it up if you want, but it pretty much ended up like this: him having mental clarity on his situation. Now, I was kind of joking when I was saying Job might be a Pisces or you might be the Job of today, Pisces. But what I'm saying here with this read is that you're going to, like, what the universe seems as though you're going to go through a, no fortune teller, but you're going to experience a heavy loss of everything that you've either worked for or everything that you thought was great, that you cherish. But this loss is meant to make you stronger. You're meant to come out of this with much more mental clarity on what to do next, as far as maybe just appreciating God, because that was why Job went through what he went through. It was a test from God. And I'm not saying these are facts, like this happened, Job was real person. I'm going based off of my itty bitty Bible knowledge, right? And that's the one of the only like stories in the Bible that I actually really liked, although it was really messed up. So that's why I know about it. But like, it could be a situation to where you needed to lose something in order for you to uh, figure out like your faith, honestly, in the universe. Figure out your faith in the universe, maybe faith in self, that you can build yourself back up to getting what you once had, whatever the world is symbolic of. The world is very much subjective. When I say the world, it's pretty much what you believe is everything that is valuable within this world, or valuable in life in general. What is valuable to me, or everything that is valuable to me, if I say, like, we went on an exercise, right? We were all in, like, let's just say this live stream or a Zoom call. And I was like, okay, everyone, let's take the next 5 to 10 minutes to write down what is valuable to us. Like, when I say the world, what is valuable to you? We're all going to come up. There might be similarities between you and me and whoever else is in this, call. But for the most part, there are going to be different things. We're different people. You might have more things than I do. You might have less. We might have the same amount of things. You might have one thing. You know what I'm saying? There might be whatever the case is, right? So that's what I mean by the world. All right. But that's that. Ugh, this is quite the read for a Pisces, but Job energy right here. Anyways, this has been the All Signs live stream. I did it. I made it. Let's go. This is the All Signs live stream. anyone who has popped up in here, I appreciate you. Anyone who liked the video, I appreciate you. Anyone who's going to watch this playback, I appreciate you. All right. At this point in time, if you're watching the playback, I'm sure that you've seen the timestamps in the comment section, the pin comment section. Okay. So go check that out. I want to thank you for trusting me for being your intuitive reader for today, or at least one of your intuitive readers for today. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, until next video, because I'm not going to be doing a live stream in the next video. It's going to be back to general reads this weekend, you know. So until next time, until next video, you'll see me when you see me. Take care.